Welcome back, guys. Hope everybody has had an awesome week. We have some really cool updates for Dollar Tree, and I will get to that here in just one moment. I hope everybody scored big this week. Um, First, I want to apologize for any confusion on the Be Pure blush. Hopefully, everybody got that straightened out and managed to score some of the um, ones that did penny. Also, I was really excited to find that the balsamic vinegar I kept finding was the correct one. So I scored big on that. Now for the really good news. It appears that Dollar Tree has updated their app again. Um, Now if you search, a lot of the penny items will literally show that they are a penny. And if you're not sure on how to search, it would be the same way you would scan a product, but instead you can put in either the order code, which is normally with the list when the penny list comes out, they normally have the order code with it, or you can even type in the product description. But right now, if you type in little tree air freshener, then you can scroll through and you can find the one pack cherry scented one, and it will show that it is 1 cent. Um, Now there's a couple reasons this is potentially very good news for us. Um, Dollar General's app has done this for a very long time. You can put in your location and you can search and this is how people figure out in the wee hours of the morning which which stores they should go to in order to get the penny items. Um, since they just did this update, how quickly the items will show up a penny in the app, if all items will show up in the app, etc., is still to be shown. Theoretically, if they manage to continue on that trend of getting things to actually come up a penny, then this would be amazing news for people without scanners in their store. Now, I've played with a couple of items I have here at the house, and scanning the product does not bring it up for a penny. Unfortunately, it still says product not found when you scan it, but you can type in the description and then search for it, or type in the SKU number um, to find it on the list. And how quickly this will update. Most of us know that a lot of times the app on the phone takes 24 or 48 hours before it stops showing you the actual price and goes to product not found. So Monday morning, even if it's still showing you a product, you still scan it at the scanner because it might be a penny and it might not have updated in the app. But hopefully they will get this to where we can use it in store as well as the night before to find out which stores did penny, which things did penny. You can also, so just like with Dollar General in the app, you want to look under your scan bar and make sure that you're at the location that you want to be checking. So you want to set the location and then you can switch locations with the same order code and see that way you know if it did penny at one store and didn't penny at another store, which store to go to. Now, I also played with the search feature a little bit. So back in, I don't know, December or whenever they had a huge amount of 25-cent items, you could go in the app and you could search whatever category and put it lowest price to highest price, and you would find all what items were 25 cents. This does still work, and it does work for clearance items, but for some reason the penny items that are in there are not in ascending order. So they were just kind of randomly, and you had to do a lot of scrolling to find them. I was hoping if you put, lowest to highest, that it would, the pennies would just pop up in that category, but does not look like we're going to have it that easy. It'd be nice, but it doesn't look like they're going to make it quite that easy for us. I do still like using that feature, searching items from lowest price to highest. A, because you find some good deals that way, and B, because it helps you keep track of the clearance items. And that way, when they eventually do penny, it makes it a little easier to spot them when you are already familiar with knowing that they're eventually coming down as a penny. Now back to the important stuff, this week's penny haul. So I had to work all day Monday, so I didn't get to go till late in the afternoon. My mom and my kids went to a store early in the morning, and I went to a couple stores after work. But I absolutely racked up. The first store I hit, I got an entire shopping cart of the arts and crafts DC Comics paint project and the little tea sets. And then I got tons of the balsamic vinegar. I got trash bags. I think I got a pretty good amount of every single thing on the list at my first store, except for the little trees. But my mom and my kids ended up with, I think, 80 of them from the store they hit. So the only little trees I found in the stores I went to was a handful of them that were actually in the auto department, even though they are one pack, so they should be at the register. Um, and then I found one of the Dolly Parton leggings. And actually, I take that back. I don't think I found any of the makeup products at the first store, but I did find um, at least one of everything else that was on the list. And then I didn't find a huge amount of the makeup items at any of the stores I went to. I believe my mom and my kids got quite a few at the store they went to. I did get a lot of the trash bags at a couple of the stores I went to. And then the last store I went to still had a lot of the stuff from last week's penny list. So a couple pegs of magnifying glasses, a couple pegs of the face primer. But there was another penny shopper in there with me, and I already have tons of the magnifying glasses, so I left those for her to grab along with the toys and the primer from last week. I did at that find the Omega Heart Health Supplement. I think that probably pennied last week, but I hadn't seen it anywhere before this store. This was the first time I found it. Anyway, I think that's about it for tonight. Here's for hoping that the new app updates will be a positive, especially for those of y'all that do not have in-store scanners. Should be extremely beneficial. Even if when scanning the product, it doesn't come up as a penny and you have to type in the order code, it should still be a good way to identify what is and isn't a penny in the store. Until next time, happy hunting.